Okay, so please ensure you've opened up your browser and logged into your website by going to your domain/WP admin. This video we're going to be installing the email plugin, Easy WP SMTP plugin. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll down, and what we want to do is scroll down in the list to where it says plugins and click that. And just let it load. Okay, once it's loaded, we can see a list of all of the different plugins that we have here already installed from when we installed our theme. Okay, and so what we want to do is scroll to the top and see where it says plugins, add new. Okay, I'm just going to click on this one. Okay, now I have an ability to upload a plugin. That's if I had downloaded it. But most of the time, plugins can actually be found directly on your backend of your website because it automatically connects to WordPress. Okay, so I'm just going to search for the one I'm looking for. And in this case, it's Easy WP SMTP. So make sure you type that in, and it's going to find it automatically. I don't even need to hit enter. Excellent. So it's come up here, Easy WP SMTP. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Okay, so make sure it's by WP Commerce. Perfect. Now it's set to activate. So we're going to go ahead and activate it. Perfect. Now that it's activated, we're going to have to configure, and you can see these warnings that have come up. And in fact, we got some warnings here about when we installed our theme, a few things that it wants to it wants us to add on, and we might do that in the future. Okay, but we want to configure this this SMTP. That's the email setting. So I could have clicked on it here, but I just want to scroll down and show you where it is in the list. There it is, Easy WP SMTP. It's been activated, so it's allowing us to go to settings. Some plugins actually have settings on the side down here, and you would see them coming up here. They might be underneath settings. So in this case, hey, it's showing up here in settings. Sometimes it'll show up in tools. So usually it tells you where you can find its settings and other features. Okay, so let's just go ahead and click on where did I lose it here? There are settings for that. Perfect. I'm just going to scroll down. There's a lot of this stuff. I'm just going to hide that. Okay. And what it wants to do is it wants us to type in the information for the email. So we actually copied this information down when we set up our email account. So open up the notepad page that you had where you had all of those credentials. So I've gone ahead and opened it up. If you remember the server information.txt file that we had where we copied our database information, we also copied our email information. So this is information that we're going to be copying and pasting into this form. So let's go ahead and start that now. So I'm going to first copy the username. I'm going to highlight it. Make sure you just copy the name and no spaces, and right click, copy, and just go back to here. And this here first is the from email address. You can actually type in anything here. I recommend just using the email that you're using, like info. So info at, and then okay, so there we go. And the from name could be your website. So this I mean, if you're sending it from a generic email like info, you probably don't need somebody's name in here. So I'm just going to put Nuki Learning. You can put Nuki Learning, .com or whatever you want. It's the name that appears on the email as the from field. Okay, so the next thing it wants is the SMTP host. So I copied the username, but instead it actually wants the host. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this outgoing server. The one that has there. So I'm going to highlight it and click copy. Okay, and that's the information it wants here is the outgoing, because it's actually sending out emails. It's not receiving emails. So whatever you have in here as your outgoing is the one that you want to put in this field here. So I'm just going to delete what was in there. Okay, I'm going to right click and go paste. There we go. Okay, and the next thing you want to do is it wants to be under secure. This is a secure email. So we're going to copy this port here. Okay, copy 465 there, and I'm going to click SSL here, and then I'm going to paste, highlight over 25, and instead I'm going to paste what was there before, the 465. Now it asks us about authentication, and it does use authentication. It logs in, so we definitely want to do that. We're going to put in the username, which happens to be this, which is the email. I'm highlighting it. Right click, copy, and we're going to paste that in here. Okay, and the password. So this is the password that I would have set. So the password that you set for your email. Okay, and we're just going to save that. Perfect. Okay, so here's all our settings, and we're going to actually send a test email. So I think it's best to send it to you. You can send it back to yourself. You can put your email in here. So we're going to go ahead and send that. Okay, it looks like it had trouble. So there's something that we missed. It's great that it comes up with error messages to let us know that there's been problems. Okay, so I think it probably has to do with my email. So I'm just going to save that. Okay, and let's go back down. It already has information that we put in here. So we're going to send that test email. Excellent. Test email was sent. We didn't get any messages back. That's a good thing. So I'm just going to quickly check to see if that actually went through. So what we're going to do is click the webmail login. We created the link for ourselves. Oh, I don't like it how it just opened in the same window. I just clicked back there so I can go back to where I was. I'm going to click this tab and then open up the email. Okay, and I'm going to log in. Okay. Okay, and as you saw before on the email, just click any one of these. Okay, and look, we have our emails coming in. So I had sent one before and then I sent another one. So we did get the test email coming in. And it's funny because it actually set this one filters email from old to new down. You can just change it to the other way. There we go. So you just make sure the arrow is pointing up and all your new emails come to the top. So there it is. There it is. Test. I sent that. I can even double click and it'll open in a new window here. Perfect. So it came from Nuki Learning, the name that I put there, info. Perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. So if that worked for you, or whatever email that you went in here and tested it with in here, it should go to that email without any problem. Okay, so the key thing here is that you are not, if you use Gmail or another email to send to, what we're looking for is that you don't get your emails going into the spam or junk folder, or that the Gmail or Hotmail or those sites don't consider your email as spam. That's why we did this with the secure settings here, to avoid that from happening. Okay, so test that and see how it goes. If you're having any issues, you can always just talk to us on Facebook or somebody else on Facebook there that should be able to help. And that concludes the video for installing the email plugin.